This video really is aimed to show you just briefly how the content platform works, what we do, and what your benefits of using it will be. And if we start here, this is the content table. So you have a side menu on the left hand side. The content table shows you all of the content that's been produced by the system, by Cassie, and the way that you are able to access that is by clicking anywhere in the row, except for places, and I'll go into content profiles, what they are and how they work, and also things like social media posts, so you can see kind of exactly what posts have been generated from each of the articles that have been created for you. So if we open one up, we can see inside here we have pretty much a world-class editor, which has got everything that you'd expect from something like Microsoft Word, or even kind of beyond the level of that really. So we have this instance here, there's an image at the top, and then we have the actual content itself, and you can just edit away as you would like to. And when you've done that, you save it, and or you can kind of hover and improve with AI, or give AI a very clear instruction directly, and that will then, if we make this shorter, and it will give you an option to make it a little bit shorter, try again, etc. All the kind of usual stuff that you'd expect from an AI inside an editor. When you are ready to publish, we integrate with CMSs, and we integrate with Contentful, Webflow, WordPress, Wix, HubSpot. So if you have one that we don't list and they have an API, then we will happily be able to add that for you. Once you've clicked on Save Changes, then our system will check whether or not it's published. You can see this one here is published on Contentful, but I've now made changes so it's out of sync. And if the CMS supports two-way syncing, then if you make a change on Contentful, our system will detect it. If you make a change here, likewise we will detect it, and we can quickly just update that, and that will either be set as a draft or publish. We can also publish to other platforms. So for example, if I click on Webflow, then you'll see that you choose the collection, put it as a draft or publish now, and then just save as draft or publish directly to the live version of Webflow. And again, that works pretty much the same way across all content. And I'll show you briefly how to set up the CMS integrations. It's all using OAuth. It's all very straightforward. You can also generate social media posts, and I'll show you that in a second. This has dark mode. It also has full screen, so you're able to edit it at night time without blinding your eyes. So what powers content is pretty critical to how our system works. And in here you have something called content profiles. And content profiles are a way of Cassie understanding what the content should be about, who it should be for, what the product is, who the person is, what their pain points are, and so on. So the way that it works, we create profiles, and profiles when they're created look like these. So you can see these are published. You can also make them draft, and you can also schedule them for different days of the week. And you can see at the top it says content status of a green symbol, 1 per day. So 1 per day will be automatically generated based upon whether you have one scheduled. If none are scheduled, then our system will automatically rotate them and use a content profile autonomously. So how we do it, very simply, we have a keyword table which is separate to this, which I'll show you in a minute. And the keywords, once you've got a focus keyword, you just click on it. It fills into the quick editor on the left hand side, which automatically gets renamed. And then you add your products, and once you've added a product, you can just click it, target industry, the ICP, and the target audience. Then you set the country that it's going to be targeting, and then what type of article you're looking to create. And we support many of them, as you can see. So let's go over listicle, create the profile. That's being created. Here it is. Change it to published. And then if you want to schedule it, as I say, 1 a day, you'd have to unschedule one of these. That then lights up that day, and it can then be scheduled for that day. So that is what creates the content, and that's what produces what we just showed you in the editor. With social media, works in a very similar way. You have social profiles. When you select a platform, let's select LinkedIn. This is dynamic data. It comes from LinkedIn and the algorithms that are what they're doing, what the best time to post is, focuses and so on. We also have the intelligence that makes it up, cross-platform secrets and so on. So that's worth a read every now and then. You select your post type again, and there's again a multitude of different ways that you can actually tailor and configure a post, and that works the same for every platform here. So Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads and X. You choose the post type, so let's go with a industry insights. Do I want emojis? Yes, why not? Do I want hashtags? Yes. Do I want an image? No, not today. Twitter one, save, and then we have Twitter one, change it to published. That can now be used to create a social media post. So when I go to the content and then I go to social posts, I can then choose whichever one of these social profiles that I want to create. So if I just do that one, you'll see it's generating. You don't need to wait, it will happen in the background. And then when it's done, it will appear in the social media table. You can click on those, they open in an editor, just the exact same editor in the exact same way, and you can edit and save. We have an integration about to go live with Hootsuite, and we'll also be adding all of the social platforms directly. So all of the ones you just saw in the list will have direct access, so you'll be OAuth connecting to all of them, and then you can publish directly from here or set up scheduled posting. No plans to add a calendar at this stage, but hence why we're adding the likes of Hootsuite, possibly Loomly and Buffer and some others. So if you do use a social media management tool, then this could be perfect for your use case. When that is generated, it will appear here. In the meantime, we can also look at things like breaking news. So everything in our system is about relevance. We don't ask you to, like other content tools where it's about, okay, you want to create content today, let's run a blog article. Okay, what do you want to write it about? Well, I don't know. That's why I'm using your tool. Well, our tool, you don't need to do that. So every day, based upon the profiles, an article will be generated. And that will give you whatever is breaking towards your target industry and your ICP that's relevant to them, that they want to know about, that is also tied to your product and service and how it can help benefit them. You can also do new searches yourself. So if you click in here, let's say for us, if I did AI content automation, choose dates. I mean, it can be relevant like today, or you can go back a little bit and then just press on search. When you see the results, there's always 10 results or a maximum of 10 results, and then you can have a read through the summary of each article, tells you where it's coming from. You can actually expand and go and look at it even further. When it was published, so today, 2 days ago, today, and so on. When you click one, create social post arrives, and you can click up to 10, so all of them if you want to. Then you choose your profile, and again, you just create the social media post based on the profile, and that will try and do the same thing. It will use that news story that's really narrow. So those two news stories, which I didn't even read, so I don't know what it's going to be about on this example, but those two news stories based upon our ICP, target audience, what we do as a company, and that will then produce the social media for LinkedIn that I chose that time. With regards to keywords, the way that these work is we have focus really on kind of monthly searches, the cost per click, how much it would actually cost you if you were paying for the service, and what difficulty. If I use a different example of one, and this is just a demo account, so we have here, for example, the difficulty, CPC, and the number of monthly searches, and you can focus certain keywords. We're not going to get into too much granular information about that today. We also show analytics, your competitors, who ranks for them, and so on. So you have a lot more depth and information about each keyword that you add. When you do add a keyword, you can choose to either bulk upload, if you've got many of them, up to 100, or enter a keyword and then choose the region and whether or not it's focused, and it will add to the table for you. Things like the analytics, we have integrations. So again, content information. If I switch back, then there's content information, what keywords have been used, what by profile, and so on, how often content is being generated. We also have Google Analytics, Google Search Console, and obviously all the social media integrations as well. And if you're looking for things like more integration, so CMSs, you have the different CMS platforms here, as I mentioned before, but we also have a Notion integration, Slack integration, email marketing, so MailChimp is in the works right now, and that will be able to send newsletters and create newsletters based upon articles. So again, pretty much the way that the profiles work, you'll be able to select different articles and include those articles within newsletters. And we have other integrations like Zapier, Google Sheets, Airtable, all in the works. I don't want to go into too much more, but there's obviously training, Cassie, uploading documents and information about your brand and what you do and how you do it and so on. That should give you some idea of how it works and what we're doing. If you have any questions, please do feel free to reach out and let me know.